I'm a 4.0 pre-med, and one thing about me is to study smarter, not harder. And today we're going to be talking about atoms. I know that, at least for me, when I was beginning to learn chemistry, it was so scary because, I feel like a lot of people hate chemistry, or they're like, oh my God, chemistry sucks. And it's because they don't have someone to explain it to them, to really teach them and make them love it. Like, I'm telling you, when I began chemistry, I hadn't taken it in so many years, and after high school, and my high school teacher was not good. Um, but then when I went into college and I had to take chemistry, I was so scared. And I remember that I had a friend, and he was like, look, it's not that bad. And I was like, yeah, it is. It's terrible. But he really made me admire and love chemistry. And then when I took organic chemistry, my professor was absolutely amazing. So I really do think the moral of the story is chemistry is not that bad. It really isn't. You just need someone to explain it to you in a fun, tangible way. If not, I wouldn't have made an A in all of my chemistry classes in college. Okay, I did it in intro, I did it in Chem 1, I did it in Chem 2, I did it in Organic Chem 1 and Organic Chem 2. And it really isn't that bad. So if we go to atoms, just know that atom is the smallest particle of an element, and it's made of subatomic particles. What does that mean? What did I just read? Okay, so you can have a carbon atom, you can have a helium atom, you can have a hydrogen atom. Okay, and each atom is made of smaller things, which are called subatomic particles. So it can be, the subatomic particles are as follows: protons, neutrons, or electrons. So proton, P for positive, neutron for neutral, it even sounds the same or alike. Electrons is negative. That's the only one that's different. So I haven't come up with something for that, but just know that. Okay, now we're going to actually talk about shells. So in this particular atom, this case, I drew lithium. I put 3 protons in the middle, which were the 3 positive signs, and I put 4 neutrons. And I drew 3 electrons, which are these things. The other thing you need to know, in the first shell, this is a shell, okay? It can hold up to 2. In the second shell, it can hold up to 8. And if there was a third shell, it could also hold up to 8. And that's called the 2-8-8 rule. And this only applies for atoms with atomic numbers that are less than 18, okay? Again, the nucleus is going to have protons and neutrons. And that is what is the atomic weight. So, for example, if you look at the periodic table and you look at carbon, you're going to see that carbon's weight is 12. But when you look at the atomic number, it's 6. So that means 6 I can't speak today. 6 protons plus 6 neutrons equals 12. So that you're doing protons plus neutrons, so that is the atomic weight. 12 is the atomic weight. 6 is going to be the atomic number. And since I have the atomic weight, I can subtract 6 and get the amount of neutrons. Okay, sneak peek. If you differ in your neutrons, not like the same element, but different neutrons, that's called an isotope. And I'll make a separate video on that. Okay, now for the atomic number, again, that's the number of protons, and that's going to define the element. So you're not going to have, for example, a lithium with the atomic number 4. That just does not exist. Lithium, by definition, has 3 protons, and it's always going to be 3, okay? If you're going to have 4, then you're going to be beryllium. So the number of protons really does define each element. And as a side note, you need to know that if you have the same number of protons and electrons, it's going to be neutral. So what do I mean by that? Okay, let's say you have something that has 1 proton and 1 electron. So 1 is positive 1, 1 electron is negative 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0, right? But let's say, again, I only have 1 proton, and this time I have 2 electrons. So 1 minus 2 is -1. So it would be -1, the charge, the overall charge. So what does that mean? It's not neutral anymore. So if you have the same number of protons and electrons, it is going to be neutral. If you enjoyed this video, again, please follow me here and on YouTube, and thanks again for watching.